Well, good morning as we're sitting here at LTV on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning, January 31st, year 2025. I can't believe we're actually entering the zone of February. Continuing here with the tradition of public access and the tradition of the Hello Hello show that's been on there since 1980. Of course, not to fail to mention the contribution by Fraser Dougherty, Francis Ann, and then, of course, the likes of you out there that make it your business to enhance and fortify this concept, rightfully so. Um, Here with us this morning, some excitement, and I wanted to introduce my friend Arlene, that's going is sitting here with us, and Winston, and the beauty of it all is that I never prepare for an interview. The less I know, the better it is. And so first of all, Arlene, it is our so nice to have you here, and I want to thank you first of all for the friendship and the genuine concern and regard that you have, at least towards me as a friend. And you proved yourself so many times. So I really thank you first and foremost. And I'm sure that when people will see you on the screen, they say, "Oh, I know her. Of course, I know her." So first of all, welcome here, and thank you for your effort to put together the gathering with Winston and then with Joe, and this whole idea of injecting life into the music scene in Montauk, especially, and then of course across the island, across the state of New York and whatnot. So, first of all, why don't you say a few words about it, Arlene,
Thank
just so
you,
we can
Haim. Thank you so much.
get
I
comfortable
am
here?
I am really thrilled to be here. Feel like I'm finally at a time in my life where all the things I planned to do and dreamed about doing but never could do are able to come out. The time is right. And when I met you, I looked at you and I was like, wow, it reminded me of all the things that I wanted to do musically, dance wise. So I'm a dancer. I always wanted to be a singer or play an instrument, but I dance. But I love music. I just want to say, Winston, the same thing. We connected like I connected with you probably 5 years ago, once at the Surf Lodge. And I have his number because I offered to pick him up and drive him to gigs. And I still have it. So I'm just so thrilled we're doing this. Thank you.
Yes, and also it's like it's almost like a no-brainer when it comes to you and your effort and your energy. That it kind of blends with people, especially creative people. Me as a painter, as a musician, and Winston. Of course, we're going to learn more about Winston as he sits here with us. I'm sure that there's a trigger that completes a circle, and then there's just mini circles that just kind of complete themselves as the friendship is going on. So this is something natural that you possess, isn't it? I mean, are you aware of
I've
that kind of
always been
energy?
this way. At 14, 15, I jumped on the subway living in the Astoria, Queens, and I went right downtown, CBGB's, the music scene, and I did create, anyone from that era. There was Neon Leon was supposed to be signed by the Rolling Stones and Gina Harlow and Johnny Thunders. And it was just so exciting. And we did all become friends and go from club to club. And I did it again like in 94. But, children, work, marriages, sometimes things are in the way. And yes, absolutely.
So give us just a little short taste about who Winston
Oh
is.
my goodness. When you go and you see a musician performing, either it speaks to you or it doesn't. And I got so much out of him, some of these other artists, but really stuck with me. And then he doesn't know, but after seeing him in the Surf Lodge in Montauk, I did stumble upon Stephen Talkhouse when he was playing, and it was bursting. The seams were bursting in the building. Everyone was dancing. It was so incredible. So it confirmed that first instinct I had. And we're doing things in January.
Hmm.
We're putting together other musicians, and hopefully they will come on your show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, by all means. And then, of course, just because you're here, and it's really special for me to have you here for one more, a few more minutes. You're working with the town, and
Right.
obviously, you know what it means to work with people and all that. So that's and then you're a mom, and you're a good, loving, responsible, wonderful mom. And it comes from me. I have 5 kids, so to about kids. I opened my own school without knowing that I actually have a school. But in school, before they go to school, they have a school. Uh, and I want to say that in more ways than one, I learn things from you. Without you, I don't think you're aware that the way you interact is help people realize there's certain things about themselves and about life and all this. And I just want people to know out there that we have people in this community like yourself that they are precious, and then we need to be aware of their presence, of their you know of their psyche, of their personality, of their presence, and you're one of them. So again, I want to thank you in that. And maybe if you can, if you find it in your heart to come and sit with me here for a whole hour where we can really
Oh my goodness.
decipher
As I
the
said,
issues.
you bring out the love and the creativity, the humanity in me. I will finish with when I was driving here with Winston, we were talking about various things we're involved in, and I talked about how I have a mentor and now I have a mentee, and how it just flows through you, that love. And Winston, it's just all part of this circle to bring us out of being depressed and alone. I've isolated too, and it's sad, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do since COVID, especially.
Yes,
Thank
yes, by all means. And then I brought my practicing pad because this is actually my remedy for depression if it ever comes. As soon as I hold my drumsticks, it goes away.
Well,
Doesn't even and when I start showing it that I can play it, even more so threatening. So it
I
stays
bought
away
a
from.
conga yesterday. Anyone that knows me knows I interrupt and talk over, so I will try very hard. I am so thrilled. I wanted to buy the tall double one like
The
Billy Preston
congas, yeah,
plays and give me shelter,
yeah.
but they didn't have the exact
But did you go to?
reproduction of
Did
that.
you buy from Sam
I
Ash?
bought one. I bought it in East
Oh,
Riverhead
okay.
from James Henry, who is running right now as we speak in the winter. Every Thursday nights, anyone can drop in. Something called the Barn on Noyak Road, Sag Harbor.
Yeah,
And new, old, you can pay, you can't. They teaching drum circle,
yeah.
West African. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. So it's all. I've heard you drum. You're pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. um. So okay, good. So why don't we
Yes.
let Winston want to sit in, and then we'll.
I,
Thank you,
I am
Arlene.
just
I
thrilled
love you,
that
and
we're in
thank you, thank you,
contact.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Haim.
Okay,
Your energy to the community is
wonderful.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. So, um, yeah, please,
Oh,
please sit
I'm
down.
sorry.
Yeah, this is good.
We're going to need to raise the microphone.
No,
a little
just sit
bit.
down.
Okay.
I'll take care of the rest.
We're just
Don't
doing
worry. Anything is good. Anything is good.
Okay.
And maybe you can sit on this chair. It's a little more comfortable for you.
Yep, first responder. I don't know. I may make you change your hat. Okay. We're all three. Yes.
Okay, that's. So as we were mentioning, Winston Irie is here with us this morning. It's almost as if I was to. Yeah, I'm just going to do one adjustment. Very good. Okay, very good. So, again, just to mention that we're sitting here on Friday morning, January 31st, year 2025, here with the Hello Hello Show, and Winston Irie is here with us. Yeah, I was thinking to myself about the heritage of that feeling that music carries with it, and how it finds us in so many corners and venues, and that it's a never-ending process of. And I don't want to be cliche to say that we complete realizations, and that it just does the job for us and cures everything. It's not. It's all about all the way from pleasure to pain. So I would love to chat with you about that. First of all, I want to welcome you to the show, which is everyone that I mentioned that Winston is going to come this morning. They know you,
Yes, give thanks,
and
give
they know you in
thanks.
details, and they have nothing but good things
Give
to say about
thanks.
you. So thank you, and thank you for your energy and for your music and for your goodness and all that. So maybe just a few words about Winston.
Well, Winston Irie, first thing I always like to say, give thanks and praise to the Most High, Creator of heaven and earth, for this day and the fullness thereof, and for you guys here at LTV for having me as a local artist for the last 30 years or 31 years. And Winston Irie, I was born in Golden Grove Village, East Coast, Demerara, Guyana, South America. Came to the United States 1979 and practically been here 90% of the time. And used to live in Brooklyn, live in the Bronx, stay out here, end up living out here. And music is a gift from the Creator for us human beings to communicate. You know, it's a heaven in a way, and it's a great company, a great spirit that could enlighten and otherwise, you know. Yeah, and I must say thanks to all the people on the East End there and around the world, peace out East and the rest of the world. I appreciate your support, and it's good to be here. Yesterday was my birthday,
Oh, happy birthday!
and
That's good.
I was christened. I was baptized on a day like today, the number of today, the
Uh huh.
31st.
Uh
So
huh.
you know, God is good.
God is good. I love to
You
hear
know.
that. So as far as music is concerned, so what is that something you discovered suddenly, or was it like there was an evolutionary process that led you to this? Suddenly, you're saying, "Well, actually, I'm a singer. Actually, I'm a musician. Actually, this is who I am and what my life is all about."
Okay, well, when it comes to singing and music, my mom, may God rest her soul, Stella Sumner, and my grandaunt, Aunt Janie Morgan, they was very vital in my musical upbringing because my mom used to sing to me when I was small, and I used to love that, you know, so it was natural, and I was encouraged by her and my grandaunt especially to pursue and continue. Um, and when I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, how you sing like that?" You know, that was when I become a teenager, big span, because when I was younger, sometimes, you know, your peers very hard on you. I was very shy, but the music was in me. So sometimes it comes out, you know.
So you sensed it already early on,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. And, you know, your peers, sometimes they think you're showing off, but they might think I'm showing off. But inside I was shaking like a
Of
leaf,
course,
you know. But somehow the sound came out
I'm
right.
familiar with this feeling.
Yes, because my grandaunt also had told me when I was like 9, 10 years ago, 9, 10 years old, I should say, nine,
Hmm.
9, 10
Hmm.
years old. She heard me one day, like I'm singing because my mom always used to hum and sing, you know, around doing her chores
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So I picked that up, and my grandaunt heard me maybe singing, and I remember she said to me, she said, "My boy, you like singing?" And me, happy and jolly, say, "Yes, yes, yes, auntie," you know. And she said, "All right, well, that's good. But, son, I will tell you one thing. No matter how you can sing a song, if you cannot hum it, you don't really have it. So make sure you can hum what you're singing so that you have all the melodies to it." And I never forget that, you know. Yeah, and also, like, as a teenager, my mom asked her, "Mama, will you sing like that?" And she said, "Son, you really interested?" I said, "Yes, Mom, I'm interested." She said, "Son, if you're interested in this thing, if you got something inside, you got to put it out. So then you see what you have to work with. Then you can shape it. But nothing do, nothing done. So I stick with that and pursue it.
Yeah, and but for example, when it comes to reggae music and that kind of, it's so close to soul music, and there's
Yes,
so
it is.
much. You need a huge dose of spiritual energy to really come together with that sensation of resolve.
Yes.
So, how did that spiritual aspects played in your life? Because I know that you cannot just come from here. You know what I
Right. You
mean?
got to come from
Even
your
though a lot of good
guts.
singers can come from here, but
Yes.
it's more like
Yeah.
the kind
Soul,
of
body, and
a
soul.
full agreement with more
Yes.
than
Harmony and
one section of the
force.
body, more than one.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so and then coming together with people,
Yes.
obviously, I'm sure you realize that you need to be compatible with the other musicians
True.
on more than just a simple, straightforward
True.
level. That
True.
means if they
True.
can play the music, then we can play together. It
Yes.
doesn't work like this most of the time. It's got to be a
Mhm.
connection that is that everyone share and everyone believe in. And
Yes.
the more you grow personally with the group, the more the music comes together and makes sense. Does that?
That makes sense. That makes total, sense of the whole situation because, as you said, it's not easy most of the time. But you have to have that drive. You have to have that commitment. Sometimes you're committed and someone not committed. Sometimes you're not committed as much as you are. Or something you got to find a balance, or you got to find a determination to go through. Either you are interested in it or not. They have their choice, and you got to just pursue. And I would say a lot of people say it's an opportunity to get a driver's license and this and that and the other, but it's an opportunity to do what we do, sing, and don't take it for granted. Don't hustle it. Sing. You're gonna sing. Like one guy I know that produced me years ago. He said, Albert Punch. He said, Winston, when you have asked to sing, you got to sing. He said, regardless of what. You ask to sing, you got to sing. So even now I go to the open mic and stuff, and people like, Winston, you got to sing. I said, I didn't come to sing. I come to enjoy other people. They say,
Yes.
man, but you got to sing. I said, I don't have to sing. They say, yeah, man, you can't leave us like that. So I end up having a ball. you know. Even that way with my grandaunt, because my mom had given me to her because all the other children that get big and, grown, and they want to do their own stuff. So she had need someone. So my mom gave me to my grandaunt, Jeannie Morgan, and I was 8 years old, 7, 8 years old. She said, but she know I don't like to sleep out as a kid.
Uh-huh.
She know I love to be home.
Yes.
I will go places, but certain time I
Okay.
gotta be home.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not home, they're gonna
They're
know.
like an emotional
Yeah,
shelter.
exactly. And
Yeah, I know.
they're gonna want to drop me home because I start belting out, you know, that I want to go home. And even sometimes my mom used to say, "Why don't you just give him 2 lash, let him shut up and stay right there? He went there all willing, and now you guys want to sleep and you want you guys to bring him home. You should put 2 lash on him." Like, wow, you know. Yeah, but the music is a gift from God. I feel, and we have to make the best of it. It is for encouragement and for enlightenment.
Yeah.
Most of all.
And it's almost like when I think, for example, of Bob Marley,
Yes.
I always think about what wasn't there
Right.
before Bob Marley.
Yes. Yes.
Not,
Yes.
what I
Yes.
mean.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
always this question. Of course, music is music. It's always there.
Yes. Yes.
Um, it's always ongoing.
Yes.
Uh, if we make the mistake that we think if we're not going to be there, it's not going to be ignited, then we're wrong.
Wrong.
It's
totally.
always ongoing. We're just like,
Yes, opportunity.
yes, we just like got to make sure that when we join that kind of motion forward, that we won't
be
topple.
honest. Yeah,
We'll still be intact.
Yes, yes.
Once we reach the microphone or the drum set or the guitar,
yes.
so we'll be, physically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
compatible with the task, with the demands. But so I'm just kind of sharing with you, and I want your reservation about it. So when Bob Marley, I remember when I lived in Paris from 1980 to 1983, and reggae music was big then. It was huge.
Yes, pioneering.
And I lived with some underground individuals that were just reggae was their lives. They were Moroccans, and some of them, 2 of them were singers. They were so good, and they instilled the love of reggae in my heart because they sang so good.
Wow!
But they were modern also in the same token, and I was in my enthusiastic period of wanting to become a great drummer.
What age was that, if you don't mind?
I was 21, right after my army service.
Kicking, bucking.
Yeah, I was there, and I remember that they taught me about what it really means to adapt Bob Marley and his music and reggae as a way of life, almost. Even though then I couldn't relate to what reggae music, as far as a drummer, I knew the basic beat, but I didn't know the accents or the language.
Yes.
So I was referred from playing because I didn't want to
mess it up.
Yeah,
you was honest about it, so you didn't want to mess it up.
Improvise too much.
Yeah.
Reggae doesn't allow you much to improvise, really. Right. After you know your task, you can improvise.
Then you can improvise. You got to know your way home before you start kicking cans.
You know? If at all you can find cans. They're nowhere to be found. But then I had the chance, because inside me I wanted to play, but I chose not to. But I still could show them, because I had my percussions with me, that there is a way to introduce the alternative into tradition.
Yes.
But Bob Marley taught me about the truth behind reggae, and I developed love in an early age for that. Right. So can you share with me, what do you think wasn't there before Bob Marley allowed himself and gave himself to the world the way he did? Well, especially when it comes to reggae, of course, and that kind of almost like religious music.
Yes. Well, before I know Bob, there is a person named Max Romeo, and that's my first experience in reggae that leave a spiritual link and spiritual connection in my music.
Mine was
although
Burning
Bob
Spears,
Marley.
by the way.
Well, yes. Oh yeah, Burning Spear. Yes. He's right on, steady, and no all day, all night, roots. He's steady. Yeah, but I don't remember if I was like 4 or something like that. It was my ending of kindergarten days, and I heard a song from Max Romeo, and I was also looking at those big art cover National Geographic animal books. They make those big books, big cover books, big pictures and stuff. They have the grizzly bear. They take the picture close up of the grizzly bear when it's like angry, teeth out and claw out and everything. And I was like looking at that, and I heard this song, "Oh, let the power fall on I, oh Lord, let the power fall on I." And like the spirit fall on me then. And I was like, close the book. I felt something there.
Yeah.
So that made the biggest impression. Imagine you're from kindergarten and you're like singing, and then you're looking at that, and
the next time you open the book slower and slower, kind of with caution.
Yeah, so it's like, wow, that really make an impression. Let the power fall on I, Max Romeo. So, and that's my official introduction to reggae. Although I heard Bob before and the other songs, but that one had made a significant difference because National Geographic, those big art cover books, the picture is big, bigger than my face. you know, you gotta sit in your lap and hold with two hands and your hands out like that, and to see a big grizzly bear like with teeth out and everything's like that was something else, man. So that
Yes.
that song that make a difference in my life.
Yes.
But then I get introduced to Bob Marley, and then I like this. I like this guy. I like this Rasta man. I like this guy because he sing what he mean. Like I was told you gotta come from inside. You gotta feel it.
Yeah, he
You
had the
know.
personality.
Yeah. So
Yes.
he give his all. So I connect with that and loving music too. So I really connect with that. As a child, I used to get my album. My cousin Brian Morgan, James used to buy me my record, and Eugenie used to buy me records and stuff. So I had these albums. Even as a young teenager or coming out of my single into teenager, I have these albums.
Yeah.
Catch a Fire, all of these
Oh yeah.
Rastaman Vibration and all these songs. So that was very good. And also Third World, the band Third World. Now that we found love, what we're gonna do?
Yes. Yes. And,
They also had made a big impression on me.
and also he introduced, I think, storytelling poetry.
Yes,
Now it's this movement is actually very vivid and very
yes,
real
yes,
when it comes to the world of poetry. But and also he seeked perfection.
yes. That's
He was a
right. That's
technician.
right.
People didn't realize that in the midst of that kind of soul and spirit, there was a technician there.
Yes,
That he knew his music. He knew
yes,
he controlled his band in a way that produced that
yes,
perfection.
yes,
And then,
yes.
of course, because
Because it's pioneering, so you got to,
pioneering, of
you, you
course,
know,
that's a good
uh, you know.
point of reference. And so they knew they had the spirit. They knew
Yes,
that emotionally they're already incompatible.
yes,
So they worked on their craft
yes, yes.
very meticulously, and I noticed that, and I was amazed because I came from jazz rock. I came from Weather Report. I came
Mm-hmm.
from Return to Forever, with
Okay.
all these legends of the late '70s and the mid '70s, and I saw bush rock in performance in 1983 in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Richard T with Kenwood Denard. I mean, vicious animals like
they, they
they will
rock, they
tear
rock, they
you up,
rock out.
they will tear you apart, and they won't apologize for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I met with uh, um, Weather Report
Uh-huh.
with now I forgot his name. um, I'll remember.
All right.
He became our mentor.
Mm-hmm.
When he came to visit Israel, and we attended their concerts, Chicoria and all the rest. We used to really introduce ourselves to them.
All right.
I grew up with a drummer in Jerusalem. There was the phenomena, and when Stan Getz came with Billy Hart, the drummer, legendary drummer,
Mm-hmm.
he dropped to his knees. He was invited to the studio, and when he heard my friend play, he dropped to his knees. He was like
Mm-hmm.
absolutely devastated.
Right.
And then he introduced to him his pupil, and the pupil was better than the teacher. He dropped to his knees again. and, and Kenwood Denard, is a guy that like
That's
he's deaf in his left ear, half deaf in his right ear, but he plays keyboards with drums, and he is in world renowned individual. So we grew up in that kind of some protection was hovering over us.
yeah.
We felt so secured in the hands of these kind
Yes.
of movements that came to
Right.
life in the '70s.
Right.
And then, of course, so when I arrived to Paris, it was like, okay, I never thought I'm going to be introduced to
something
this
else.
soul music, but still modern.
Yes,
I
yes,
can
yes,
find my
yes.
identity in it and all this. So, do you think about these many aspects of now? I mean, you have. I'm sure you're aware of what's happening with and 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 find that kind of modernistic aspect, realistic aspect into that music, full of soul, so full of soul.
Well, you gotta stick with the key. You gotta bring your key to the karaoke. You know what I'm saying? You got to stick with the key. Bring the key to the karaoke. That way you can flex because there's so much notes in that key, you know? And you can flex with that and the breathing and, you know, like you said, it's good to have musicians that play it like you mean it, you know? Strike a balance, play it like you mean it, strike a balance, synchronicity. And the rest, you give thanks and you just go through. Like you say, the guys that used to play that, they could rip to you because they play it like
By the
they
way, Joe
mean it.
Zawinul, I just remembered his name, Zawinul. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Zavinu?
Joe Zawinul from Weather Report. Sorry.
Okay, okay, Joe
Yeah, yeah.
Zavinu. Okay.
He was the one that you know how sometimes someone says one word to you
Yeah.
and just opens things in your life and you never forget it. And you always tell people about that one.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, man, you see, and a lot of time we inspired people and we don't know, you know? But the main thing is like staying key, synchronized, be dedicated to it, you know? Appreciate it and go for it. Like my mom says, son, you want to think, go for it and work with what work with what you produce to shape it up the way you need to shape it because it's fresh and it's for molding, you know,
Yeah.
the shaping. Yeah. So I stick with
That's
that.
good. That's a good way of putting it. Yes, that's
You,
yeah.
you know, yeah, man. May God rest her soul. She have done a great lot for me, and she always tell me. She said, Winston, I want to tell you one thing. If you ever hear anything happen to me, do not leave what you're doing and run behind me. You got a life to live.
Yeah.
You finish what you're doing, and if there's any, and then you come, and if there's any pieces to pick up, you pick them up. Otherwise, God is in charge. I'll be right here.
Yes, that's a
You
good way
know,
of putting
so
it.
that helped me, you know, through a lot of situation. You know, even like you said, sometimes it's difficult with some musicians, and you know, man to man, you know, and you like it to be what it is, for what it is, and work with it for what it is, not to oscillate or you know. So I really love that vibes.
Eh, but sometimes life introduces new age to you,
Yes,
and you can be completely resolved in what you just described,
yes.
and you can't help it but feeling the need to relate to
Oh
that kind of
yes, yes.
and but you find it very difficult to mix tradition with something alternative, even though there's room for that. Like you
Right.
said, when you say the key is the relationship. Like, I don't know much about, maybe I know about melody, but harmony
Well,
less.
melody, yes, the same
but
thing.
but yeah, but still, I will never shy away from externalizing my abilities,
Yes,
and I'd like people around me to do the same. I
yes.
remember when I went to a jam session once. It was, oh yeah, it was at the in Sag Harbor, the hamburger place that they used to have that jam session every Thursday, the jazz jam session. Remember that? Now it's Goldberg's, whatever.
Oh.
So they play jazz, and sometimes people arrange jam session, but they have crazy glue in their ass. They never leave the chair. So I used to come and say, "Is this a jam session or it's not a jam session?" Because it seems like, are you stuck to the chair because you glued to the chair or because you choose to stay in the chair? It's like, so so they allowed Oh yeah, please, please, yeah. I will tell the story. John? No, sit with me. Okay, we have you now here. So I'm telling you the story. So we started playing jazz, and I said, let's play Giant Steps, which happens to be a very fast tune. Da, 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 da. So it's da, 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 da. Fine. So I said I didn't play that for a long time. I didn't play jazz for quite a while in jam. So bear with me. Let's gonna one notch. Uh,
I'm
so we
here for
started,
this.
we started playing, and they did exactly the opposite. They went like 500 miles an hour, and I looked at them, and I'm playing, and I struggle. I said, why are they doing this? So I decided to play freestyle. And freestyle, I can play faster than the speed of light. So I started playing freestyle, and they suddenly felt like they're in trouble because I feel comfortable in my freestyle doing giant steps. They know nothing about it. Okay? So they said, and I said, tone it down. And then we went back and forth until they started behaving. You know, but this is how
Yes.
sometimes I find myself. Okay, you know what? Playing freestyle actually speaks volume. You know, when you, especially when you know how to do it. And I'm sure you in the when it comes to the world of art and the reality of art, you know what it means to improvise. It's nobody
Yes.
can teach you that.
I've been very lucky. I end up in a lot of different places. So I was across from the old Studio 54 in Manhattan. I don't know what year it was, 20 years ago. And I stumbled into an open jam, and it was Chris Jagger, Mick Jagger's brother, and Leslie West. And that was great. It was very smooth. They seemed to have rotated people. It was a good jam. And then one night, I think Johnny Winters was booked down on Bleecker Street, and he packed the place. It was a basement there. And unfortunately, Johnny couldn't make it to the stage. The whole audience was Hell's Angels, and Leslie West came out and saved the day. But these angels, they loved Johnny Winter so much. They were right there with him in his back room, unable to walk on the stage. He might have walked on the stage, he couldn't hold the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
But it was so funny because I didn't know Leslie West really, or that Mick Jagger had a brother Chris, or so it's just been that whole thing of music. But other people who run open jams have talked about, don't call it an open jam if you're not going to give up your seat. And but you do have to somewhat mesh with the
Yeah.
musicians.
Yes.
And I didn't think twice. This all happened because I love Joe Dalia and I know him. And I just picked up the phone and called Winston in the middle of January in Bridgehampton. I was like, will you come out? And everyone was so thrilled. And they were, I've seen you at that open jam too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cohesive, very
Yeah. And thank you
natural.
for being so generous to invite me and remind me. You know, like in my life now, I need reminders.
Winston didn't even know the jam was still going
Yeah,
on.
here
Joe
you
is
go.
like, Winston is always invited,
Yes.
always invited.
Oh yes. Oh
But
yes. Of course. Of course. So that's um. Thank you for filling in.
I'll tell you, music is what keeps you smiling and
Yes.
keeps you through the tough times.
Absolutely. By all means. And I just wanted to mention again that we're sitting here on Friday morning. Oh, good. Yay. He's coming.
All right.
They know this one.
There you go. They know this one. Here you go. Friday morning, January 31st, year 2025, here with the Hello Hello Show. And my name is Haim Mizrahi, Winston Irie. Yeah, he's
Yes,
here with us
Irie,
this
yeah.
morning. And so I told Arlene the story about that kind of it's almost like if I was to do this, for example, and someone is playing jazz and I don't this and I feel like I'm in trouble and I can just play the tune. I can play like this for half an hour
Yeah,
and I can be like the fastest, the fastest.
that's good melody. That's good. Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
good
mean?
rhythm. Rhythm.
And
That's
then
the
and
key.
this can be a very meaningful
Yeah,
standard.
layers.
That
Yeah,
that they can go.
and you keep it at home.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
maintain.
Just
Hold the
that.
fort. Yes, yes, yes.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I did that more than once in the past. when you join a jam session, everybody is warm and they play all the time, and you don't get to play
Yes.
much, and you say, "Yeah, have mercy on me," but
Yeah.
I don't need your help. I need
Mm.
mercy.
Yes.
I know how to play, but and they don't give it to you, and then you inject your style that they know
Mhm.
nothing about.
Aye.
Suddenly they're humbled.
Yes.
They
Yes.
say, "What's going on? We need
Yeah.
to behave." You know?
Yeah. Because they're probably afraid that it might throw them off, or that you don't know what you know. Not until they get to find out that it's you know what you're doing. You have your melody. You got your timing.
Yes,
You got
definitely.
your rhythm, because everything is rhythm. Because even if you're playing jazz and someone go off, somebody got to be able to bring them back home. Because sometimes I see a lot of guys they're playing jazz, but they just go astray. I mean, music is music. Noise is noise.
Yeah.
So, but someone got to hold the bass. Someone got to hold the fort.
Yes,
So that other
definitely.
people can go into the fields or into the waters or whatever.
And they all have the opportunity to
Yes,
improvise and
yes,
to solo and to
yes.
it's when we play underground music, alternative music, it's one huge long solo.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
uh we all have a background of disciplines and
Hmm.
jazz and everything, but we solo all the time.
Yes, well, that you got to have that discipline, that background there. That makes a difference.
Yeah, in 1984, when I took lessons with Kenwood Denard in Spanish Harlem,
Mm.
101st and 104th and First,
Uh-huh.
he always told me, no matter how hard you try, you cannot produce noise from drums.
Right.
No, it's called power.
Hmm, hmm.
So I learned a lot from him.
Wow.
And every time he told me, "Do you understand what I'm saying?" I said, "Yes, I understand nothing. I understood nothing. I was scared to death just sitting across from him. So I was pretending that I know that I do, and I just like took.
You were seeking.
Yeah,
You were seeking.
I took from him because he
Yeah.
gave me trusting me.
Humility,
Yes,
humility,
and I took
humility,
and I
humble.
took, and then when I
Yes.
went back to see my friends that many months, they were like, "What
What
happened to
happened?
you? What happened to you?" I said, "Magic, the love of God. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable."
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So, so what? I mean, going back to your journey and your,
Mhm.
personal aspirations.
Right.
Uh, so, do you think like past, present, future kind of thing? Does it come into the equation of of thinking and feeling you living the music, you being the music, you performing the music? What kind of relationship do you have between that and past, present, and future kind of thing?
Oh well, music will be here even when we're gone. Music will be here. Music is forever. That's why I said it's an opportunity. Like I said, they say it's opportunity to get a driver's license and all of that, right? But it's an opportunity to play the music, feel the music, play it right.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. You just gotta play the music right and like don't hustle it. Try to do it as your best and work with who you're working, stick with the key. And like we said about someone's going out on a solo, if they cannot make their way back, you gotta go bring them back. Or if it's more than one of you, someone have to play something there
Yes.
to
To
to let
anchor
them,
the
yeah,
the
anchor the,
stable aspect
yes,
of it all.
anchor the boat.
Anchor the boat. Yes, yes. The vessel.
Yeah, anchor the vessel. Musical
Yeah,
vessel,
you should write a song called
Yeah.
"Anchoring the Vessel."
Yeah, man. Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
so what about blending? What about like? Did you
Oh,
see that people are trying to bring styles together, to bring kind of
yes, that
cultures and customs together?
yeah, that keep on happening. Like you said, you gotta do you gotta do what is best for the music, not necessarily what best for you. Because
Yes.
what best for the music end up being the best for you because you have to apply yourself. The music is an opportunity, giving you the opportunity, melody, sound, God give you that to communicate with each other, to make yourself happy, you know, to settle your agreements, and all of that stuff, and express your grief and all of these. So that is life by itself. Music is life by itself. And like I said, music is a gift from God.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless who you want to be, your God, the Almighty God, the Spirit. Music is a spirit, and that's why it could heal people. And if my music can heal somebody, or at least relieve them from whatever bothering them, even for a moment, I'll do that because they can learn, I can learn. We can learn from, we're here to learn from each other and serve each other, give thanks to the Most High and love each other. And life is not more than that, you know? Life is not more than that. Everything is everything, as some of the people say, and everything's everything. It's there. We just got to work with who we can work with and help who we can help, and who's receptive to being helped. We will
Yeah.
receive help. And we got to remind ourselves, receive help when it's necessary.
Yes, of course.
Pray
Ask
to
for
pray to
it.
know when it's necessary.
Yeah,
You
ask
know?
for it.
Yes,
Don't be
yes.
shy. We're not. So when you perform out there your
Mhm.
music and share
Yes.
yourself and who you are with music, with people, what do you see out there? What? How are people like?
Well, I see
What do you gather from that kind of interaction?
I see love, and I see an opportunity to communicate and to love. You know, I see music as a healing force, most of all as an healing force. Because someone can hear a song they heard when they was a child, and as long as they relate to that song, they'll never stop relating to that song.
Hmm.
When they hear that song bring them. It's almost like a fountain of youth.
Fountain of youth. Yeah.
Yes. You just bring them back to where they were, and they could trace themselves the way they are, and it's kind of like, wow, I came far. No need to give up now. you know,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It's not.
Right, right, yes.
You get to a point where you went so much motion forward that you actually progress means going backwards.
Right, 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 right. So you got to
you
like,
know,
yeah,
just
recap. Memories don't live like people do, as
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
singers say. It always stays with you.
yeah,
You just take something to spark it and kindle it.
yeah. And people think that doing more of the same doesn't
Hmm.
spell progress, and it does.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
a
repetition. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Then you get that, you cipher that out, and then you just move on to other things. Move on
yeah,
to
and especially when you're a painter and you have to face a blank canvas and you have to
yeah.
make something happen.
You gotta go blank and then come back to light.
Yes, yeah,
You know?
correct.
Unless you already got that inspiration and you're like, all right, let me see if I can capture this
Yeah.
this 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 vision or this. Yeah,
Yeah, but you need also the right mentor to teach you not to fear dead end,
right, 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 right.
because dead end is just a part of the necessary ingredients to
Yes, to
um,
overcome.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and so if you're lucky enough to have more than one creative medium in your life, if you write poetry and play music and paint paintings, then you can start enjoying the luxury of cross implementation.
Yes,
That you
yes,
that take
yes,
from
yes.
this, take from that, and
Dynamics,
you can do all of that because you own everything. You
color of
own the
life.
music, you own the poetry, you own the painting because you're doing it actually. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe own is the wrong word. Maybe
Mhm. Well,
you
you accept and
yeah,
you go for it. Yes,
yeah,
yes. You
you
accept and
adapt.
yeah, you adapt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of, and it's and the magic unfolds on its own behalf.
Yes.
Uh,
Where there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way, yes.
So that's that's where that is.
And also they say practice doesn't make breakfast.
But it make progress.
Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice make perfect.
Yes.
You know,
it is what it is. What it is.
Yeah, the Kabbalistic sages taught me that.
Yeah.
They say, no, it's got to be perfect practice.
Yes.
Otherwise,
yeah, you go for that.
You only think.
You go for precise.
Yes.
So even if you go for precise, so
Yes.
if you even off a little bit, you're still there.
Yeah. And you don't have to be 100% committed.
Exactly.
You don't have to be like, I devote my life fully to it in order to justify the feelings that you feel, you know?
Yeah, true.
And to speak in the name of I always, you know, like when I teach drums, I always say, you know, this you can play every music.
Yes. You can't go further than that.
I don't care what music it is. I don't care if it's 7 or 11.
Yeah.
Anything in the world.
That's rhythm.
That's it.
That's rhythm.
Can you do that? Of course you can do that.
Yeah.
But do you want to do that? And when you do that, do you feel okay that you're doing it?
And
when you do it and you feel okay, can you continue to do it? And if something distracts you, you take this and you slow down and go fast.
Right.
No, you gotta keep a straight face.
Yes.
So now I just played the music of the world in its entirety.
In entirety.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So teach that and tell them all the thoughts that you would otherwise think if I was to teach you 1,000 different things should come from this kind of scenario.
Right. You could go out, but return.
Allow it into
you
your
could
life.
go out and you remember if you're lost, where you took off from. You know.
Yes.
You know.
And even with reggae, I remember that it was this beat, but it.
Yes. One.
And it's
on
like
the third,
jump over
seamless.
something.
Seamless. Trying to make it.
It's a very creative syncopation.
Yes, seamless as possible.
And once you capture it, you feel like scared because you're going to lose it any second, and then you're going to make a fool of yourself.
Until you continue, and then it's like I tell people, I tell drummers, I said, breathe when you play. Breathe. So even if you like go to fall off, at least if you're breathing, you have something in your strike, in your strike,
Yes.
Breathe, Whether you want to breathe long or short, breathe. If you're taking a roll, if you got to take a breath to roll, you think, and you let out that, and you come back to one,
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. Going back to basics all the time.
Back to basics.
And even if it's just like as simple and as general as ta ti ta ta ti ti ta 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 ti ta ta.
All the way.
But then you can always teach them about ta ta ti ti ta 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 ti ti ta 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 ti ti ta 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 ti ti ta ta.
Yep. So yes.
How much love is there? How much. But the thing, but the key is, can you hold your water? Can you
maintain that? That melody,
that
rhythm.
The moment in its entirety with this simple thing or complicated thing, sophisticated. But can you really complete the cycle? That's a major problem that we have in our.
Well, for me, reggae kind of complete that in its whole entirety, in different pattern of reggae and style of reggae. So you got to breathe and you got to and then it becomes seamless.
Yes.
Because that's the main thing, seamless. So someone could be cooking and they could be listening that and still keep the spice right.
Exactly. The consistency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a drummer could be playing and he's like, all right, bop, yes, I'm gonna be here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here all the time. I might take a road,
yes,
back.
Exactly. Go in and out as many times as you want. I'll still be here.
Yes.
So
don't forget home. Return.
Called predictability.
Integrity.
So yeah, I mean, it's interesting that one can hold so much behind that kind of a basic convictions, that if you have your relationship with God or the ultimate, some kind of an unknown force, and you always, without any hesitation, bring it into
Right.
the vicinity of real time playing,
Yes. Yes.
then you're safe. You're like,
Yes.
you cannot be safer than that.
Right. Right.
If you allow that presence
You
of
got,
the
yeah, you got to have
Almighty
that
to,
will. Yeah, that
yeah,
will, that will, that like I said, that will, that essence of home, like just a home. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be at home wherever you feel at home. Wherever you feel at home, you could be at home. You could be in your house, but sometimes you don't even feel like you're at home.
So do you think
Yeah.
that reggae, for example, can tolerate changes?
Yes, yes, because you see, because like you said, the beat, bam, 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 bada, bam, bada, bam, 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 bada, bam. Reggae could deal with all the changes. It's how you do it. You can't overdo it. And like icing on a cake. So reggae is a cake. You could put icing on the cake, but don't. You got to know what you're doing. It's like the canvas. You're painting, but you got to know what color to put, that you don't stray the vision away from what it is. You know, because it is what it is. You're going to put color, and as long as the eyes can appreciate it, you know, and still level, because that's like music. You're painting. Music is a paint. It's like painting, invisible painting, spiritual painting. You don't see music until you write it on a paper, and still that is just a fragment. You know.
Yes.
That is just a fragment of thing. But music is spiritual. Music is a feeling, whether joy or blues. Music is a feeling. Music is a spirit. Music is love.
Yeah.
Music is trial. Music is tribulation. Music is joy.
Like an intimate statement.
Yes, yes. And music is coming together. Music is
Music itself
unified,
also.
synchronicity. Yeah,
Yes.
music is soulful. And all of these great experience of life music is. We just gotta continue, doing the best we can and keep it as friendly as possible,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
because
That's a
that's
good way
that's
of putting it.
important. That's important.
As and frictionless, and
Yes, yes, because there's enough conflict all over the place. So
and
music
be
is.
patient for the discoveries to come your way. You don't
Yes,
have to
yes,
force
that's
it.
important. That's important.
Yeah, it will come. The
Yeah,
magic will unfold.
yes. You could practice
Yeah.
and push yourself to a point where say, let me try this, see how long I could play it this way, since I already know that way. Let me see how long I could play this way without losing art, or without missing a beat.
Yeah.
And then you can say, okay, wow,
And if you do miss the beat, it's got to be for a good reason.
for a reason. Yep.
So it's
Take a breath.
yeah, or
Get
something. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
something. You got a plan. You
Yes,
execute the plans.
yes, yes, yes.
Supposedly.
And it's a lesson.
Yeah, lesson.
It's a
Yes,
lesson. You
true.
can go back to that and all right, I'm
So,
gonna put a time there. I had
believe it
to.
or not, we just consumed almost a full hour. So first of all, I wanted to
Oh,
thank you for being here. Winston Irie is here with us. Hopefully, we'll get to have you here one more time, or more than one more time. And I wish you good luck and prevailing in all this wonderful energy that you project and give the communities. And we're going to be here tomorrow as much as we were here yesterday and as much as we're here this morning, Friday morning, January 31st, year 2025. Thank you so much, Winston. And I really appreciate it. So until next time. And maybe before we go, I want to just do one voice and calling this 30 seconds.
rhythm and melody.
Okay.
Yes, I.
Thank you so much. I really
Respect,
appreciate. I
respect.
couldn't resist the temptation.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It's in
Okay,
you.
much love to you. Thank you
It's
so
in
much.
you. And a great reminder. I have a song is releasing today. It is called "Unto Thee, O Lord."
On to thee, O Lord.
Yes.
We'll pick it up next time when we and open a discussion.
Thank you very
Starting
much.
with this statement. All the best.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Peace.